today, the Dallas Cowboys and New Orleans Saints literally had a WWE-style brawl during their joint practice. There were punches thrown. There were helmets thrown everywhere. And at one point, Saints tight end Brock Rechsteiner, who is son of WWE Hall of Famer Scott Steiner, who Harmon probably has rookie cards of.
Holler if you hear me.
Grabbed a Cowboys player, body slammed him to the ground. It all happened after a Cowboys player punched Reichsteiner. Then they got yanked around by the face mask. And, as these things happen in joint practices, it got so heated they had to talk about whether or not they could continue having this joint practice. Like, it was absolutely crazy. Now, this is kind of a latter-day phenomenon in the past 10 years where the more intensive joint practices have replaced reps in preseason games, where they can control the action more. You can control big players getting hit more. You control the quarterback getting hit, which is the number one thing, right? You don't have to worry about special teams as much. So all of these joint practices that teams get replace that. But when you talk about the heat, as each summer it gets hotter, there's more than one joint practice. Teams get together for a couple of days. Like, we get this all the time now, and this with multiple skirmishes breaking out between the Saints and the Cowboys. Like, I can't believe we don't have it more often than we do, like something like this.
No, this was gold. But, don't often have the son of a former champion and grappler at the University of Michigan like Scott Steiner. Here, Rex Steiner, who's already suspended, by the way.
Yeah.
Quietly in the background of this is he's already serving a 6-game suspension for reasons we have no idea. It's not been disclosed. So the fact that he German suplexed somebody, and you know damn well everybody knows who he is. Like, we were waiting how long to see it. Who won the bet as to when that was coming out of the bag to when he'd go to the old Greco-Roman style wrestling move.
It's awesome stuff, man.
Yeah, short fuse, man. Short fuse. That has long been the reputation of the family in and out of the ring, and certainly on display here.
Just want to announce that Steven and I are going to be at the next WrestleMania taking part. I'm going to wear the big Andre the Giant onesie, but I don't get touched. I'm the one in the ring, and Steven jumps in, and we're going to wrestle against the Johnson guy that owns the Jets and one of the Maras. So that's going to be the next big, because we've shown that we can do it here, WWE style with the Cowboys.
Just unbelievable. Yeah, but, I mean, look, two teams scrapping in the throes of training camp. Like, I know I landed here in Boise. The in-car dash said it was 98 degrees. So across this great land, a lot of heat issues. And we know what happens when you get a little bit of short-tempered in the middle of these hot practices. We've seen it for years.
I tell you, I could perform a suplex. I can't pick anybody up, but if you kind of put the wires between them, I can make it look like I'm picking them up. And maybe I'll just come in as the emperor, and it'll look like I'll have that fake lightning coming out of my fingers, and that's what's going to singe a guy. And then Steven can pin him, and we win. And and of course we're going to be in Cowboys colors. So there's
that is a pretty good move. I showed you the clip of the guy that wrestles on the indie circuit as Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
And he just flips guys around by pointing at him.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's awesome. I need to see that guy wrestle Danhausen. I want to see what works there.
Ooh.
Like, you want to talk about, hey, that's yin and yang. That's okay. We got someone that can curse people, and then wrestling against Jesus.
That's pretty good.
I wanted to see that, man.
Well, we referenced him yesterday very briefly. We forgot to acknowledge Danhausen's birthday.
So happy birthday,
Hausen.
Happy birthday, Hausen and Dana. So with this going on here, this is perfect because I'll give you two big, bold predictions, one for each of these teams, okay? And let's go with this. Let's lead up to the Cowboys because that's going to be the big one. I'll give you the Saints right here. Saints are going to win the NFC South, okay? Everybody is sleeping on them. Last year, they finished well. Their division is really weak. They have the offense for it. Tyler Shuck was pretty good last year. Like, you want to take a look back and go, hey, I mean, and I get that a lot of people didn't get to see him. Maybe didn't get to see him as much as you want. It's New Orleans. They were bad. But Tyler Shuck is pretty good, and he's got a couple of big weapons there. You just had Olave sign the big contract extension. He is a real sleeper. The running back room is better. And this is a really bad division where I can't see any team. The Falcons Ravens are absolutely awful, right? Who knows what the Panthers are going to be? The Bucs might wind up being a team that takes a step back. Like 9 or 10 wins could wind up winning the NFC South. And the Saints can score enough points. I am more convinced their offense is the best unit in that division, where they can really rise up this year and really show you that, hey, we have a next level to us. Because I'm telling you, I like Shuck a lot more than other people do, and I think the Saints are going to have a big year. It's going to be, and again, big being 9 or 10 wins. I'm not saying they're going 14 wins, but that's what you need to win the NFC South.
Well, that cashes a ticket with 2 games to spare because it's 7.5 for their over-under. They are second in division. Tampa plus 170, New Orleans plus 270, Carolina third, Atlanta bringing up the rear at 4-1. When you look at their roster, the big question, how quickly do you get Tyson back? He's out with a hamstring injury, could miss as much as 2 months, maybe longer, because we know how the hammy recovery process goes. And Olave left the field today. So a little bit of hand-wringing going on in Saints camp, even when they're not fighting. They did bring in Etienne to go with Alvin Kamara, who's back for another run, as you mentioned. They've got a couple of guys in Miller, Estime, and Ty Chandler that are there in camp with them, whether they stick or not. But Tyler Shuck was a guy that got dismissed by many doing the old ageism thing, as opposed to he's got a lot of college experience and played really well finishing up at Louisville. And you look at the second half of his season, he was sound. So other than Baker Mayfield and the giant chip on his shoulder that he says he's playing with, and we've talked about him in the past, you wonder if there isn't some motivation in terms of what they offered him. Now, I don't know that giving a guy a 2-year, $100 million deal should on any level ever be considered insulting, but in this case for Baker Mayfield it was. So hopefully that fuels him on to greatness. So I think far and away they're the 2 best teams, unless Carolina suddenly has Jonathan Brooks running around like his hair's on fire.
Now Olave did come back to practice. He did leave, go to the medical tent, so he did come back and finish the joint practice. But still, I get your point. He has missed a lot of games. They gave him a lot of money. But if this, injuries, you can't really think about how, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. But I still like the Saints in the NFC South. The NFC East, the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East. Okay? Who knows what the Giants are? They're going to have enough trouble just keeping Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo on the field. John Harbaugh's got his hands full with everything going on there. The Commanders, boy, they could be in for a really bad year. This does not look like a year that's starting out well for them. The Eagles lost a lot, especially defensively. And the Cowboys, you know how good they are offensively. Another year in this system. And defensively, the moves they had made to get better in the offseason. All you got to do is have a competent defense in Dallas, and you're going to win a ton of games. You're going to win games 35-21. Doesn't matter. You're not going to lose 38-35. You'll now win 35-21. The Cowboys improved the most from last year to this year just by making their defense what looks to be a hopeful league average defense. That's going to be enough because offensively, this is one of the top 3 offenses in the game. They're all firing on all cylinders. Everybody's familiar with the offense. They did a great job keeping them back. People are sleeping on the Cowboys with no expectations this year. I love a no expectation Dallas Cowboys right now. Expectation Dallas Cowboys, no, they never seem to live up to it. But no expectation Cowboys from anywhere. I love this. I love the Cowboys to win the NFC East.
Betting odds sitting here plus 170, Philadelphia, Cowboys plus 225, Commanders taking some action at plus 475, and then whatever you get out of the Giants, they're plus 600. A lot of hope for John Harbaugh, I should say. I'm not sure who's actually going to stay on the field for them, but we've got more on that as the show goes on. For the Cowboys, you had Dak calling it the greatest offense there is, Pickens, Lamb. You talk about whether you get anything out of Turpin and Mingo, and Camden Brown comes in. He's shown in their first preseason game. Ferguson's still a strong tight end. And you have Jaden Blue to go with Javonte Williams that they added. I don't know. I like what you have set up offensively. Defensively, you've added so many pieces, including the latest future Hall of Famer Von Miller. I don't know what he does, but it'll look good in a Cowboys uniform.
Oh, sure.
And
he
the
says
fact
he's
that
there
you've
to win.
added,
Telling you, look, he had 9 sacks. It's not like Von Miller's terrific, but he's still 9 sacks last year. I mean, that would have led the Jets by like 4 sacks. He's still someone that's going to come in, leadership, what the defense needs. Like, that's a great signing. It's going to be
another coach.
Yeah, it's going to be more about what he does to them and for them in the locker room, how he leads them on the field. He'll still probably 5 or 6 sacks, which will be awesome for Von Miller. He's not going to play a ton, but that still is a really good signing for them.
But you added, 6 new starters on defense.
Well,
you have
Quentin
Williams.
Could have added 9 new starters on defense.
Well, but that's just it. We brought back reinforcements. What did we get rid of? Well, we got rid of that Micah Parsons guy. What do you have in return? Well, look it's a whole laundry list of guys. If you do their depth chart, there's so many different color codings to it in the additions piles. Like, well, this guy's a free agent. That guy was off trade. That guy's it's everything looks up. And for the Eagles, just to use them really quickly, they're on another coordinator, and some of their component parts are starting to get a little longer in the tooth. The dissatisfaction with Sirianni and folks that still take their shots at Jalen Hurts, it has the recipe for an implosion, but we know that's usually when Philadelphia is at its best.
So there you go. There's some big, bold predictions coming off a joint brawl practice with the Saints and the Cowboys.